probably a good time since the end of the year to do a year in review.
Year in review.
So we'll take, we have what, eight episodes, which are the
Yeah.
top 8 episodes.
Yeah. We come through
Obviously,
them.
testosterone 101 was going to be number one.
Yeah.
That was
Should be.
that was a no-brainer.
It should be number one.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, if you're interested into TRT, I would think the testosterone 101 should be everyone's first episode into it.
I agree. I think what we should do is, as this progresses, and I'm not saying now, but like maybe redo that episode like
Mm-hmm.
2.5, 3 years later.
Yeah,
See if there's been like any changes. What's different? You know what I
sure.
mean? And just kind of bring it up to speed, modernize it,
Yeah,
keep it fresh.
yeah,
So
absolutely. Why
we
not?
could probably do that with all of the core episodes
Yeah,
every so often.
yep. Yeah, so yeah, Testosterone 101, the number one downloaded episode of the year.
Hmm. Um, I remember doing those. So I don't know if people realize this, but our first 5 episodes we filmed it once.
Yes, all in one day.
It was all in one day. We did them in January when we decided to start a podcast. And I don't think the other thing, because we started on doing TikTok, but it just got very repetitive on
Hmm.
TikTok, answering the same,
Oh, the lives.
AI
Yes, the
estrogen
lives.
question for the millionth time.
Hmm.
And I think it's just a structure of how those lives are, because somebody would come in, ask a question, get their question answered, bail, and then like literally somebody will come in after that question was asked, not know that question was asked, ask the same question, and then you're like I just answered that,
Hmm.
and so it's not really a good format for that type of content, because you just repeat yourself like
Right.
a broken record, over and over and over again.
And then you get the guys with the gear that come in
Yeah.
and ask about, Anavar and
Yeah,
D-ball
I'm
and
on primo and testosterone. You're like, that's not what, like, this isn't gear advice.
right. Like you do
So
see TRT talk, like it's literally
correct.
on the screen. You do see that, right?
Yeah. Well, that was our like one of our most recent episodes is TRT versus the anabolics.
Hmm.
And more power to you if you want to get into the anabolic game, but not not really what is pertaining to the masses, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, of the people that want to kind of get into this and are just looking to live normal lives, not necessarily become the biggest muscular person that they can become. Certainly, adding muscle is important for your metabolic health, but there's also drawbacks to that as well. And I think a lot of people, and this is an episode that I have planned for the future that I want to talk about. It's called the Triangle of Results, patent pending.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't have a patent or trademark that yet, but it's a discussion that I've been having a lot recently with a lot of our clients, and that'll be a later episode to kind of discuss what that is and what that means and what are the sides of the triangle. And you know, after people leave, they're like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So my hope is that if people listen to that episode, it'll make a lot of sense. But yeah, episode 1, testosterone, kind of where it all started. We filmed all those episodes at once because TikTok wasn't working out. And that's where we laid the foundations of testosterone. I think we talk about sex hormone binding globulin in that episode. Or did we do an SHBG
We
episode?
did a separate one for
Okay.
SHBG by itself. And I think it was
Okay.
SHBG and free T.
Got it. Yeah. And that actually means more than total testosterone. But I think understanding what testosterone is used for in the body and why it's important, what the potential benefits are, what the hormonal decline can cause. And we're now, I hope, after that FDA hearing, we start to see that in a little bit different of light um,
Sure.
versus what it has been historically. That should have never been put on, a controlled substance. It should have always been, because estrogen and progesterone aren't, thyroid's not,
Right.
but testosterone is,
Mhm.
because it
Yeah.
can make you run faster and jump higher
Right.
with training, of course.
Yeah. Well,
Like
leave
you
that
can't
part
just
out.
take it and like it does that. Same reason like you can't take a shit ton of gear and just expect to get muscular.
Sit
Like,
on the couch. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you got to put work in to get it. And then too, the other part of that equation is food.
Hmm.
You can cap out if you don't eat enough calories. That's it, man. Don't matter how much you take.
Right.
So, you need fuel to run the engine. And if there's no fuel, you can't run the engine.
Yeah.
So But yeah, testosterone. I think that was a very foundational episode. The first 5 are very foundational. What are your thoughts on that first episode?
I mean, it definitely covers. I think if you were new to TRT, or maybe even been on it a little bit, it's definitely goes through the basics of like this is
Yeah.
testosterone, this is what it does, this is what you should expect. Um, I think anyone. I mean, it's testosterone 101. The episode description basically tells you everything you need to know. It's like,
The entry level college
yeah,
class.
right. Like you walk in, it's like, welcome to testosterone. So let's sit down and just have at it. And it walks you through, I think, the
Yeah.
beginning of it. And then from that one, we build on to the next,
Right.
because I think if you started with something different, I think you lose that foundation. I mean, look, the beginning of TRT for everybody is testosterone.
Yep.
Then we go from there. So I think the podcast was, I don't know, I don't know if it was on purpose or accidental, but the testosterone was the foundation of it.
Yeah. And I know we're kind of stuck in this realm. Like obviously that's what our podcast is geared towards. We don't have and this might and I think it'll probably evolve as we continue. Because you can let's be honest, you can only talk about testosterone so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of run out of things to talk about in this
Mm-hmm.
space. I mean, can kind of get deep if you need it to be, but it can also get pretty mundane and pretty repetitive after a while. So um, I think we'll probably span it out into the greater health space. I have some plans for some topics we can bring in. I have some extra guests I'd like to bring
Right.
in the new year to expand on those other things. So
I'm always available for conspiracy theories and aliens if anyone wants to talk.
we could always come up with an adjacent second
Yeah.
podcast that does
Yeah, I
that.
can I can talk that shit all day long. So if
Same.
anyone wants to know, I'll talk testosterone, conspiracy theories, and aliens. I'll do that shit 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Like, no problem, dude.
Like when I'm cruising through like Joe Rogan's podcast, I'm like comedian, no. Like I'm like, give me the dude that's like talking about how AI is gonna kill the world,
Right.
or like the dude that's talking
Yep.
about aliens. Like I'm literally just scrolling till I find like the description, like this is the one I want to listen
Yes.
to.
No, I can do that all day long. Ancient alien talk, conspiracy talk, and testosterone. If we could combine all three of them, that would be like the pinnacle of my life.
Yep.
Those are three things that I truly love. It's like,
It's definitely it's entertaining,
yeah.
especially I think because we have no idea, and you can only speculate about it because the data that we have access to, us just mere plebeians,
Hmm.
is not all that great.
No.
So you just kind of have to go on and just say, but yeah, some of it sounds plausible, a lot of it sounds crazy,
Oh yeah. The
but
crazier it is, to be honest with you, the more I believe it.
yeah,
It's like the
yeah,
stuff that's
I
like,
can see that.
like sounds like reasonable. I'm like, that's probably not true. The stuff that's like just totally off the wall, I'm like, that's probably
Probably
true,
really
dude.
happened.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like, yeah, no, I can do that stuff all day long. But anyway, um, yeah,
So testosterone. Yep. So good.
Testosterone was the base, and then so let's do our second one, second most, which honestly, Josh, was one of the reasons we stopped doing TikTok live.
Yeah.
Was this very next topic?
Yeah.
Was the enclomiphene bros, because they
Oh,
came out of the woodwork.
I do feel like it had calmed down by the end of this year, but it came in hot.
Yes.
2024 into 2025 and early 2025. Man, that stuff was literally
Yeah.
in your face
Mm-hmm.
24/7. So if you haven't listened to episode 5 on enclomiphene, go listen to it, educate yourself on what it is, what it does, why I don't like it
Right.
as testosterone replacement therapy. I guess it's awful for that. That being said, I do prescribe enclomiphene on very few select occasions
Mm-hmm.
as a post psychotherapy to get somebody's brain back on board. And I will also use it as a fertility adjunct in people that have subfertile semen analysis metrics. So,
Right.
because it can increase motility. And then obviously from the FSH and LH increase, we can therefore hopefully increase sperm counts, which it has been shown to do. Well, at least Clomid has been shown to do.
Yeah.
So,
So if anyone wants to know, like we tell all the enclomiphene bros, if you are using TRT and you are concerned about testicular atrophy or fertility, you are to use HCG.
yes,
It's hopefully the last time we have to say that.
I hope
But I
so.
know that it's not.
It's not.
I know for a fact.
Just had a guy last week transfer in who was on enclomiphene while on TRT
Hmm.
for fertility and atrophy. And I said, you do realize that's doing absolutely nothing for you. He was like, well, they didn't tell me that. I said, no, I figured.
Sounds about right.
I said, but they took your money.
Hmm. Well,
He's
that's
like, well, yeah, they
always
did do that. I said,
sure.
that's kind of the idea behind it.
Always going to do that. Never not going to do that.
I'm like, did they ever check your LSH or your LH and your FSH after you started that? I don't know what that is.
Mm.
Yeah, I figured.
Neither do they. That's the
I probably don't know
problem.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember seeing a video on YouTube. It was this channel, and I think we talked about it, not in a podcast, but I think we have talked
Hmm.
about it personally. It's this YouTube channel that was posting a ton of testosterone content in like 2022, 2023. I don't remember the YouTube channel. It escapes me, but it was this guy, and they must have ran a clinic. And their last video, because they were real big into the enclomiphene thing. And their last video was that they were doing a study on enclomiphene and that it was going to be released real soon on how it can be used with TRT to keep fertility. And like that was the last video they posted. After that, it was like no more videos from that channel whatsoever after posting literally for like a year straight. It was just silent, like radio silence. And I think if you're a person and you're kind of looking at it, why would you go like, why would this very active channel just magically go dark after like this supposed bombshell that was supposed to be dropped?
Right.
And the reason why it likely stopped is because there was no bombshell.
Yeah. That study came out and didn't go the way they were
Correct.
planning.
It was everybody was like, it wasn't what we thought it was going to do.
Right.
And we counted our chickens, before they hatched. And
that's when the guy's like, hey, how do you feel about conspiracy theories and aliens? You want to do a podcast about that? Because we just boned the dog with the enclomiphene bullshit.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
But and I did some videos on that. I think I uploaded them to my YouTube and then also to my TikTok, of which the one TikTok video must have got reported by I think somebody. I'm pretty sure I knew who reported it because all the audio and the video was muted by TikTok. The video itself was fine, but you can't listen to any of the audio.
Really?
Yeah, I actually have to pull it down and like re-upload it. I don't know why, but I think somebody that obviously was using enclomiphene as monotherapy for their clinic probably reported it as for whatever reason, because I never really got a clear reason. It was like done in the background. I never got a notification from TikTok or anything.
Yeah, funny how that works.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it was just like the video's muted, and it was the one episode 2 on why enclomiphene doesn't do anything, and I provide lab values and everything on somebody on TRT and enclomiphene, and yep, I got muted for that one. So makes you conveniently wonder why.
Yep,
it's probably because that business model is bullshit.
Correct.
But anyway, that was the enclomiphene episode where we talked about SERMs. I don't think it really talked about them getting pushed, or maybe we did.
Yeah, no, I think it just covered enclomiphene and why it shouldn't be used as a monotherapy.
Yeah.
And then I think we went into what the, obviously, if you're using TRT and testicular atrophy and fertility are an issue, HCG.
I will also stress you cannot use HCG as monotherapy either.
Right.
So the LH receptor will not respond to HCG after a period of time with consistent use of higher doses of HCG. So you kind of get like a tachyphylaxis response to it where it won't work anymore. So you can't use that as monotherapy either. So people that are just saying like, well, I'm just on HCG and I'm doing it naturally. And it's like, well, technically HCG is not natural to a male. It is to a female.
Right.
You want to know what HCG is? It's a pregnancy test.
Right. Exactly.
Human chorionic gonadotropin. Like when a woman pees on a pregnancy test, it's literally testing for HCG.
Right.
So, but that's how HCG, they were like, well, I wonder what happens if we take this substance like chemically and we inject it into a guy and what happens. And it functions almost identically to LH.
Yeah.
So we call it an LH mimetic, but you cannot use that as monotherapy either. So no enclomiphene monotherapy, no HCG monotherapy. You can use enclomiphene as a post-cycle therapy for semen analysis, and you can use HCG to help maintain fertility while on TRT, but you cannot use either or by themselves, or use those together. That's also a really stupid idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
which we've heard people do too.
Yep. I've actually had a couple of people on that protocol. Like,
funny how that
total garbage stuff. Total garbage.
Those are the guys, the clinic, like the guy worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car and now is the manager of a TRT clinic.
You know, that's an episode, I think. I think we should probably do that one because there's a lot of clinics out there that are owned by people with zero healthcare experience whatsoever.
Right.
None.
Which is terrifying.
But hey, it is kind of terrifying, you know. I mean, I don't know. I guess you talk about, I guess when you're looking at businesses like large corporation businesses, but these aren't really like mega corporations. They might be larger in terms of scope, but they're not like, you know, billion-dollar corporations. They're probably not even like upper multi-million-dollar clinics. They might be quote multi-million as in like, hey, 10 to 20 million.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be like, yo, we did 800 million last year or something.
Right.
Like that,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
So
quick money grab. That's all.
Certainly sounds that way.
Yep. Well, the third most downloaded one is estrogen.
I'm surprised that actually isn't number one.
I know. With the aroma, we talked about aromatase inhibitors.
So much talk about
how that goes. I just made a video today about that and immediately got attacked about it. Guy was like, he wrote something about, I have high body fat, so I aromatize more. And
yeah, like, you definitely do aromatize more. He's not wrong in that.
Yeah.
But he also has zero clue of what that actually means.
Yeah.
So but that's typical of people that don't like know anything about the body or whatever. They just chat GPT'd what it said and regurgitate that up and don't really realize that, you know, the hormone is not a blood-based, you know, hormone. It's used where it's needed. And that's that. And, you know, 90% of its function requires the estrogen receptor to actually work.
Right.
And if I can measure it in the blood, it's certainly not attached to a receptor. I can tell you that. Because if it is, it ain't showing up in the blood.
Exactly.
So, but explaining that to people is really difficult.
Very difficult.
You know, and then, you know, you kind of get the, should you put somebody that has a really high body fat on testosterone? And I think that's a really dumb question because I've heard people say like, no, they're just going to turn that in estrogen and get man boobs, which, you know, that's not going to happen either. But, you know, the internet will tell you anything.
Oh, 100%.
You know, and it must be true. So
yeah, 1,000%.
But, you know, that's what you'll hear. And that's not the case. And if you have a guy that's really metabolically unstable, the benefits that he'll reap from having adequate testosterone will certainly outweigh the negatives. And then those negatives happen to everybody. They just need time to stabilize. But unfortunately, everybody jumps on the AI train as soon as a little inkling of one of those symptoms creeps up. And not realizing that, one, they're not permanent. Two, they will happen not just to that person, but dang near anybody for the most part. You know, people with lower body fat tend to not experience nipple sensitivity as much as higher body fat individuals, but it doesn't mean that it cannot happen to the person with lower body fat. It's just less common.
But in all honesty, I think the majority of the people that I talk to when we talk about this issue, it's immediately when they get some kind of nipple tenderness or puffiness or whatever it is, that they immediately go to, I'm getting gyno.
Yeah, that's
And
not what
then,
that
and I'm
is.
like, dude, you got to just let it roll. But
Roll.
they don't want to do that. And then they go to the AI and like, well, it went away. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
now you're gonna struggle.
right. You're just, yeah, you back the card up, and it's like, you remember you talked about getting over that bridge.
Yeah,
Just get across the bridge. Like it's going to be tender. It's going to be, just let it roll. It'll go away. And then,
it's
but
gonna suck before it gets better.
I think everyone's so afraid
They're
of
so
getting
afraid, and
gyno.
people want quick, easy shit, right?
Right.
I was just talking to a guy at the gym today. Um, I've been going to the same gym now since literally about a year and a half, almost not quite a year and a half, but I've been going very regularly, at least 2 times a week for a year and a half. And I go typically the same days of the week on most times, but I only go twice a week. So like some of these guys are in there like 3, 4 days a week. So I'm overlapping with them generally.
Yeah.
And it's like the same crew. Like there's like probably 10 people that have gone to the gym the same time I go readily, and we all kind of like know each other. Like we don't hang out outside the gym, but like we see each other, we nod, we might go up and say hi to each other. Like I know their names and everything, but um, the extent of us just chatting is basically at the gym. So I'm talking to this one guy, and he's built like a powerlifter. The guy's super strong,
Hmm.
but he's not like ripped or anything. He's just a big dude, but he's just really really strong. Like he's built like a strong man essentially. Okay, and he loves to lift. He has goals for himself, and he does it. And I think it's great that he does that for himself. Um, but he's in there, he's putting the work in, and he's like, man, I'm dreading next week. I'm like, you and me both.
Oh yeah.
Because of January, and it's like he's like, there's
Hmm.
364 days left in the year. You can come any of the other days. And I was like, I agree. I
Hmm.
said, but some psychological reason why everybody waits till the new year because they want to
Hmm.
reinvent themselves, but they can only do it on January 1st.
Right. Like that's the date. Like the
I
trigger.
couldn't
That's
have
the
done it
light
6 weeks
switch.
earlier, or
Yep.
like any of the other time that year. It's got to be January 1st when they reinvent themselves. And it's frustrating because then when we go to the gym, it'll be packed
Oh, it's a
with
shit show.
people, and most of the time, like they're doing really crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like they're lifting weight they can't pick up, and their form is awful, or they're doing an exercise on a piece of equipment that like it's not designed to do
Yeah.
because they just don't understand it. Every single treadmill is taken.
Hmm.
I don't have to compete with that because I got other things. I can go over to the rower or whatever.
Hmm.
That machine scares people away, so
Yeah.
it's
Right.
always open for
Exactly.
me. If I need like a quick 5 minutes to get my heart rate up, I'll just use that puppy.
Yeah.
Or the stairs. I climb the stairs a lot too, but
Hmm.
so we're dreading it because of that reason.
Yeah. You get like a 4 week. It's about 4 to 6 weeks before it
Mhm.
starts to dwindle back down.
It's sad though. I think you posted that video on the 4 things, and consistency being, I think, a very important piece of that.
Hmm.
And there just isn't any consistency. These people give up. And so my comment to Dwayne, that's his name today, was that I said, he's like, he's like, we're in here like every week putting the work in. I said, I know. And I said, you know what? I said, it's hard. It's hard to make, a time commitment to commit to yourself to do this every week. And I said, you know what though? Nothing worth doing is easy. I said,
Right.
because if it was, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
And I said, you don't get better. You don't make yourself better. It's not easy, because if it was, everybody would do it.
Right.
You have to sacrifice, you have to give, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And just like the estrogen with AI, it's gonna suck before it gets
Hmm.
better. And it's
Yeah.
the same thing at the gym. It's gonna suck before it gets better, but it does get better.
Yep.
You just have to continue. You have to have that consistency to do it. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope to see more people there more often, like March, April, May, but we won't. It'll be
Yeah.
the
It's
same old
only, I
song
think
again.
I saw read somewhere, I think it's like 8% or something, or 11% it might have been,
Okay.
of people make it like 4 months. And
Really?
then it's
That's
like after
sad.
that, it's not like people think it's like 50%. It's not.
No,
It was like
I knew
under
it's not that.
15%. And it
Yeah.
was like they make it like 6 months, and then it was like of that 15%, it was like half of that make it like a year, and then become like
Wow.
actually change because I mean, you say it. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
there's people that do this every year. Like I'm going to get in the shape, and then you're like just like
Yeah.
why even do it? I mean, how many
I'm
times
gonna
are you going to
give
do this?
I'm gonna give people the best piece of advice. Hire a freaking trainer
Yeah,
for 3 months.
yeah, pay
Because if
for
you
it
can do
too.
it for yeah, you're paying for it for 3 months,
Hmm.
and then you set those things and you make those commitments to be there. And it doesn't even don't even make it where it's like unattainable. Like 2 days a week is all you need to get started. If you
Yeah.
can do 2 days a week for 3 months, you can do 2 days a week for 6 months,
Oh
or two
yeah.
days a week for
But yeah, no, that's the truth though. Um, if you can, there's like this time of year where now it's like cold. So it's like,
yeah.
when you get in your car, like it's outside, it's cold, you come in, your car is nice and warm, and you're like, I could like just go in the house, or I could just go.
Mhm.
Like there's the days that you're like, but then when you actually do work, I mean, I work out at home, so it's different, but
Right.
it's colder in the garage, and I have to like heat it up, and like
Mhm.
there's a process to it, and there's like a lot of times where I'm just like, fuck this, like I'm not, but I do it because like I eat my Sour Patch Kids, and that's like the thing. Like if I do that, then I have to do it. And it's like I'm like, if you see me work out, it's the craziest thing. I work out in fucking, yeah, there you go. Sour Patch Kids. And I work out in my boots, in my, what I go to
Sure.
work with. I
Yeah.
just fucking let it rip. I don't go in and get changed because you go in and get changed, you sit down, and it's like, then you look at your phone, like, fuck that, dude. I just go in, I turn the heater on, I go in, eat Sour Patch Kids, fill up the water, and then right
I'm gonna
back to the
issue
garage.
somebody a challenge here too. Go to the gym and don't take your phone with you.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
exactly.
I take it in with me, but I don't. I lock it up in a locker with my bag. I don't take it out with me like when I'm working out.
Yeah.
I leave it in. I remove distraction from my workout and I focus on why I'm there.
Yeah.
And because of that too, I do get done a little quicker because I'm not dorking around in between sets on phones or
Yeah.
this. So I would challenge you to do that.
Yeah.
Put your phone away. Use that as some time that you can put technology aside and not be reliant upon it.
Yeah. I think if you did 2 days a week for a month, I think at the end of that month, you would feel like going 3 days a week.
I would think
You
so.
would start to, because the soreness would go away.
Mhm.
You might start to feel a little
Yeah.
something like, hey, this is like, I kind of feel good, or I feel like, I'm able to go up and down the steps a little easier.
If I had more time, I would go 3 days a week, but I also have ice hockey that third day a week. So I kind of supplement that as
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
my third
A lot
workout.
of
Because
people
trust
have
me,
just absolutely nothing. So,
that is a ridiculous workout.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I can't even pull my shirt off after the game. It's like stuck to my body from all the
Yeah.
sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So yeah, if you're doing that, I mean, that's a workout. That's
oh
counted
yeah,
as a workout. So you're
yeah, it's
working out
full
3 times a
body
week.
too.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
different than somebody who just, you know, doesn't do jack shit.
yeah.
Like you're going to have to go into the gym. You're going to have to sweat. You're going to have to, yeah. And the thing, when you do TRT, it's the one thing, I think a lot of it when guys start doing TRT, I think that drive comes back.
It
Because
does.
it's like, you know what I mean? Like guys start out and you see them, and then like a year into it, dude, like you see pictures of them, they're starting to put shit online because they're feeling good, and it's
Feeling
like they,
good.
yeah, so it's, you put the fucking racing fuel in the car,
Yeah.
you start to get some pretty good results.
And we talked about this when you were over too. We we've said that testosterone makes effort feel good,
Yep.
which it does. But back into like getting into like that rhythm of going to the gym. I'm not really like stoked to be like, you know what? I can't wait to do chest today.
Right. No,
Like
100%.
the act of doing it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going to do it. But how I feel when I'm done
Yes.
is really what I'm going after.
Right.
But the act of actually doing it, like, because like my left arm's been bugging me,
Hmm.
so I'm like, I skipped the biceps today because of it. And I actually went to my office and shockwaved it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
because it's been bugging me. But I did my top set on chest today, and I'm going to pat myself on the back. Was on the decline chest press was 315 for 10,
Hmm.
and that's the most weight I've ever pushed for that many reps. So I'm actually pretty impressed with myself that
Yeah.
I did that. And so my goal now is to get 315 for 12, and then I'll bump my top set from 315 to maybe like 325 and try to
Mm-hmm.
do that for, 8 to 12. So that was the most weight I've ever pushed. I was pretty happy about that today, but um, I skipped biceps
Yeah.
because of bugging it. But
I think with the workout, I think there's plenty of times where I think you and I talked about this too, where it's like you don't want to do it. And it's like you
mhm.
get down on the bench and your entire body's like, I just want to go to fuck home, or I just don't
Yes.
want to do this. And
Uh-huh.
then you do it. And then when it's over, you feel good and you never like look back.
Right.
If you skip a workout the entire night, I'm like, my body knows it's like fucking cheater. Like it's like I'll go to the refrigerator and it's like, don't eat that. You didn't work out today. And it's
Yep.
like, it just plays in there like, fuck. Like, why
Yep.
didn't I fucking work out? You know what I mean? But it's never the opposite, the other way. Once you
No.
work out, it's never like, I shouldn't have worked out today. Never does that cross. Even it's like there's 2 chocolate chip cookies. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I just crushed it. Guess
Yep.
it's going down. But it's
Getting a
the other,
reward
right. But when I don't, if I do skip and there's 2 chocolate chip cookies, I got like the little fucking devil on the other
on your
side. It's like,
shoulder.
now we're skipping workouts and eating cookies. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, just because you worked out does not give you an excuse to eat chocolate chip cookies if you are trying to actually make some changes. But
No.
it does mean that you could probably have one every now and then.
Yeah. Every now and then. Exactly. Yeah. Don't
So
get that misconstrued. Yeah. So number 4, which actually, I guess we were kind of talking about, the testosterone timeline, which was episode number 30.
that was a
That's,
good episode. I remember doing that one where we talked
yep.
about when most of the symptoms kind of come online for guys,
Mm-hmm.
brain fog being very early, usually within like the first week or two, and then kind of all the other ones sort of falling in generally by month 4 for most guys, sometimes a little longer. And then if certain things don't add up, then looking into other factors. I think there's one thing that I want to make clear too is that you should not feel fatigued being on testosterone. It shouldn't make you feel worse.
Mm-hmm.
If you were truly hypogonadal and you truly have symptoms, it should not make you feel worse than when you start. Now, like, there can be a period of time of adjustment where you don't feel maybe quite as good as
Right.
you thought you were going to feel, but it shouldn't make you feel worse than what you started with.
Yeah.
That's almost, dare I say, impossible to achieve. But we do have people that say, they feel this, that, and the other. They're tired. Here's the other thing that I can't assess. I don't know how you live.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, sleep is super important for your life in general. I mean, you're going to spend a third of your life asleep, and we sleep on purpose to reset our brains and to let our body recoup from the day that it just went through. And if we
Right.
lack that, or it is poor in quality because we have sleep apnea or whatever, then we don't really get that reset that we need. And then everything after there is just kind of crap. So,
Mm-hmm.
you still have to change. You can't eat Burger King every day and expect to feel amazing. You actually have to eat some decent food. Like today, I made spaghetti squash with venison bolognese from scratch.
Nice.
And it's not really that hard. I mean, I have the ground deer meat from, the deer we shot last year. And, bolognese is pretty, I mean, I didn't go like hard in the paint on it. I have like carrot, onion, some red wine,
Yeah.
put the deer meat in, some spices, and I used the canned sauce. Okay, shoot me because I didn't make my own sauce, but
Yeah. Right.
I don't have time for that.
No.
And it was excellent. And then you put on the spaghetti squash, and that's got like no calories. None.
Right.
It's basically pure fiber with
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit of carbs. That's it.
Yeah.
And you're basically just eating the meat and the sauce. It's a high protein meal. And it's delicious.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff like that. But yeah, the timeline's important. It
Yep.
does take a little while for everybody, at different points for different people. But ultimately, I'd say once 6 months hit, balls in your court.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I think for me personally, I think I definitely felt different at 6 months. And then like 10 to 12 is when I think I peaked and it was like, okay, this is,
I will say a lot of guys, when they hit their first year, like when you finally hit like the month that you started testosterone on like the year before,
mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's like hitting another level. It was for
Yeah.
me at least.
Yeah.
And I've had some other guys say the same thing. Like, man, I've been on for a year now. And like, again, too, these are people that are also active. Like none of these guys have been um, complacent. They're all
Mm-hmm.
trying to better themselves. They're all trying to keep, a good amount of lean mass on their body, keep their body fats in check, stay active, stay strong, stay healthy. But they're like, man, when I hit that year, like everything after that, it just seemed like it went up to 11
Yeah.
for me.
Yep.
Myself included. I think most of my gains in the gym literally have happened after my first year on
First
TRT.
year. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. That's what it did to me. I think once I could tell, like every month I could sense a little bit like, oh, I was getting like a little bit more energy or a little bit better sleep but then when I got to like, I would say around 10 to 12 months, I realized I don't have any more of anything. Like
Yeah.
this is it. Like I was just topped out and
Yep.
it was fine, but it was like, I could sense that there was it. And this was the new normal. So
Yeah.
I was down
It's a
with
good
that.
normal. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
sure.
Feel pretty good every day now. I'm able to accomplish to get some things done. Certainly, it's a little confusing a lot of days. There's a lot of things to get done, so you have to really prioritize what needs done for the day.
Yeah,
But
right.
that's life.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have that in our own way.
Yep.
So
So the fifth one that was the most downloaded one, Don't Die. What's that? Hematocrit?
blood pressure and hematocrit.
Yeah, blood pressure and
Yeah,
hematocrit.
that was what episode
Episode
33.
33. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
Don't
one.
die.
Don't die.
Now that I read it, it's like, what the hell? Oh, God.
Yeah, hematocrit's been one of those things. I know it gets talked about a lot. I know we've talked about it a lot, and people think they have to donate blood, and
Mm-hmm.
of which there's no literature on for that. There is for PCV, polycythemia vera, but and maybe a couple others like JAK2, which is a genetic gene malformation that causes red blood cell proliferation. I actually have a patient with that. He does have to donate, and I'm not in charge of that. He actually, as he sees hematology, they take care of that. And his ferritin's low. It's like 20, but he says he feels okay. So I mean, and he was super low. So the problem is it's like a double-edged sword. He was going to be donating whether or not he was on TRT or not.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we might as well get what we can out of this. He
Mm-hmm.
feels great. Honestly, he does. He feels fantastic. But this particular guy is very, very robust. So like he's a pretty stout guy. Like low body fat, very muscular, but was even coming into it.
Oh, okay.
So former military, really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, blood pressure, hematocrit. You got to check your blood pressure. Will go up transiently on TRT, and if you're making good changes in your body comp and you're trying to lower the fat, depending on what your body fat is, and build a little bit of muscle mass, after a period of time, that blood pressure does come down.
Right.
And one of the women who works for me, Ashley, her husband, is on TRT, and he's lost 40 pounds in 1 year, and his blood pressure is now under control. Now he is on a med, so we're going to think about as he continues on that, maybe pulling back on that, and kind of seeing where he lands. But that would have not been accomplished had he not been on testosterone, for sure. So
yeah, I mean, 40 pounds is a lot.
A lot in 1 year. I mean, I think that's the another thing, and I just want to stress this sidebar tangent here, is I think people set too lofty a goals for themselves, right? I want to lose 100 pounds, and it's like 100 pounds in a year is a lot of weight to drop.
It's 2 pounds a week.
That's a lot of weight to drop,
Yeah.
consistently. And I think it could be done if you're like, 500 pounds, sure, right? But there's not a lot of people that are 500 pounds.
Right.
Most people, even guys on like the big side might be 300. So to go from 300 to 200 in a year, that's going to be pretty hard. And I think people don't see the loss that they want, because if we get them in the gym and working out and they're actually doing it the right way, we have their macros kind of lined up, and we're in a slight deficit, not a large one. We're not becoming catabolic. We're still able to maintain a good anabolic process and build muscle. It doesn't go as quick because they're building muscle at the same time. I just had a guy, he's over 300 pounds, and his 8-week visit, he had actually gained 10 pounds of muscle and he lost 10 pounds of fat,
Yeah. Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
And I think a lot of people at that point where they start to, in the beginning, they start to drop. They drop weight quickly.
Yeah.
And then it starts to slow down because as you get closer and closer, it's
Right.
harder and harder to do it. And then that's where people fall off the wagon
Yeah.
because
Set
they're not
yourself
getting
obtainable
results.
goals. Like, be like, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. Like, if you started, let's say January 1st, okay. Um, I would say by like, hey, by Easter, I want to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
like 4 months to lose 10 pounds. And you got to think too, I want to lose 10 pounds of fat, not 10 pounds like on the scale. Yeah, you want to lose 10 pounds on the scale, but what is that scale made of? How much
Mm-hmm.
of it's muscle? How much of it's fat, bone, water weight, what have you? You want to lose 10 pounds of the weight that you don't want,
Right.
right? And that might be a challenge to lose 10 pounds in that amount of time if you're building muscle at the same time.
Yeah.
Because as one goes down, the one goes up, and your net loss is zero.
Right. Exactly.
But you're making changes and
Yeah.
eventually you will. So set realistic goals for yourself and realize that stop paying attention to the weight on the actual scale to drop. Start paying attention to what the weight's made of.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you could go down one or two pant sizes and weigh the exact same weight, if
Yeah,
not a couple
absolutely.
pounds more.
Go use the clothes test. How do your
Yeah.
clothes fit? Do they feel like they're fitting a little looser around your waist? Do they feel like they're more snug around your arms because you're building muscle on that?
Mm-hmm.
Use that as a litmus test. Don't use the actual scale.
Yeah. Yeah. That screws with people's heads too much.
Yeah.
So the sixth most downloaded, and this one, when we were done, got inundated with messages
Mm-hmm.
because we talked about, well, the title is Labs and Bigger Johnsons,
Oh, I know what that one's
episode
about.
34. And when that was over, my phone almost caught fire with the DMs once that thing was released. My TikTok was just like, wait, what is this stuff? Where can you get it? How much does it cost? I'm like, I don't know. It's not because when you talked about it, you weren't providing the service yet. You were,
Oh yeah. Now we've done several, and
yeah,
I finally added the Shockwave machine. So I did get a Stores Master Pulse Ultra Plus, and so we're gonna start using that. Matter of fact, that's what I did in my shoulder or my bicep today.
yeah.
I gave myself a little shockwave therapy for that because you can use it for a host of musculoskeletal issues too.
Oh, good.
So anybody that hurts themselves lifting or in the gym, we
Yep.
can you know,
Fix you
incorporate
up.
a shockwave regimen over a couple weeks and get that injury healed up real quick. If it's real bad, let's throw some peptides on top of it and you know, fix you right on up super
Mm-hmm.
fast.
Yeah.
So, but it can also be used for ED. So yeah, P shot, we definitely are doing those now. I'm seeing a difference clinically, not just from. I know there's data out there. Also, I am in the process of publishing my own study internally that I'm going to hopefully get published nationally. I'll let you know, and that has to do with this little guy here. And I think maybe that can be one of our episodes first in the new
Mm-hmm.
year. And that's this little device right here. I'll almost show it to the camera. This is like a smart watch for your Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll talk about that, and we'll share some data and kind of talk about how it can be utilized and what my study is going to be and how we're going to achieve. And maybe what we can do is get listeners to kind of get some of this and then send me their data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
That's it.
because then I can add that in and you can be a part of a study. So, but it would
Mm-hmm.
require you to get one of these, log some. I'd have to know if you're on TRT, if you're not on TRT,
Right.
if there was alcohol involved. So there'll be like a little questionnaire. But if you're interested, when we do that episode, I'll give you some details and you can send it to me. And if you want to contribute your data to this larger pool to potentially help some other guys down the road, so we can show that,
Yeah.
hey, XY intervention also works with this, then feel free to do so and know that you're becoming part of history.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
but
I'll
we'll talk about
definitely
that.
jump in there.
Yep.
So the P shot, how exactly, for people that may not know, how exactly does that work?
Yeah. So P just stands for plasma. Okay. Or I'm sorry, it doesn't stand for plasma. It stands for priapus,
Mm-hmm.
penis, essentially. A erection shot, so to speak. Um, And then we use your plasma for that shot. Okay. So what we do is we draw your blood, we spin it down, and we suck the plasma off of it. So I don't know if you've ever seen when you spin blood down, all the red blood cells go to the bottom. There's usually the tubes we have are specific. It's designed to harvest plasma without any bleed over. There's a matrix that goes in between, and it separates the plasma from the red blood cells and like locks them into place. So I can literally flip the thing over when I'm done, and all the plasma's in the bottom with like no RBCs, and they're all packed in the bottom, and I can draw that out. Okay. And then we numb the penis up with some topical numbing. We let you soak for about 20-25 minutes, and then we actually numb it with a small needle. We use a 30 gauge to numb it with some 2% lidocaine, no epi. Obviously, you don't use epi in the penis because it causes more vasoconstriction.
Right.
And we do basically a penile block with that lidocaine. Some people feel like a tiny little poke, initially, and then like they can't feel anything after that. And then we let you sit for about another 10 minutes, and that numbs everything up after that. So realistically, after that, because we've pushed, some lidocaine, we got it in the corporal bodies, and it numbs everything up. 10 minutes later, you can't feel anything, and then we come back with the plasma, and we do a series of five injections. So 2 at the base, 2 kind of mid shaft down from the glands, and then we finish 1 in the tip, right? Oof. And surprisingly, you're like, but to date, nobody's made a peep. They're like, I can't even feel anything.
Do people close their eyes or look away or?
No. We use a 27 same needle you inject your testosterone with that we have is the same needle we use to inject it into the penis. It's a 27 gauge half inch. So, and that's it. And it's been very well tolerated. I can definitely tell. I just had a guy do a 3rd P shot. He came back for his 3rd. It was in November, like later, like mid to late. It was before Thanksgiving, like a week before. And I can definitely tell from doing that and like the pumping regimen that when I get somebody with really atrophied corporal tissue because they've just have bad erectile dysfunction for years, when I go to push that plasma in, it's kind of difficult. Like I don't have to like, jam it in there, but like you can tell it's kind of pushing stuff out of the way to open up a channel. Okay. And by the time that I got to this 3rd, when I put it in there, it's like, it just zips in there. And that just means it's open. Yeah. There's no restriction at all. It's just free flowing real good. So we got excellent blood flow.
Good.
So the chambers are open for business.
And has he noticed any difference in, the size? Is that changed at all?
Yeah, so I'd say you max out on the girth component and potentially the length component if you've regained some. Now, obviously, there's some other factors in that, like your weight. Yeah. For every 30 pounds you lose from over that, you can theoretically gain an inch, they say. I don't think it's quite that much. But yeah, if you're like, 300 pounds and you get to 200 pounds, because it's more of your ideal BMI, you're definitely going to gain some length down there for sure, because your suprapubic fat pad and all that fat, as it goes out, retracts everything back and it makes it look a lot smaller. So as you lose that fat, that comes back. But, girth and lengthwise, we can restore a little bit of length that was lost because of the severe ED. It's not much, and you're not going to gain anything beyond what you're anatomically capable of. Okay. So, people think like, this is magically going to, give them a foot, on top of, what they have there. And that doesn't work that way. And I don't care what anybody says. I know they're like, there's a new procedure. They put filler in down there. I think that's a fucking horrible idea. Personally.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, have you seen the fillers that they inject into people's face, and then they've done that MRI on the woman that had filler, and it's not in the spot they put it at anymore?
Yeah.
It's migrated. So what do you think's going to happen when they put it down there after some time? It's going to fucking move.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a misshapen weird wang. And nobody wants that.
Crazy fucking bump on one side, like a speed bump.
Because you wanted to look bigger. And here's the other thing. When you put filler in it, again, it can't make it any bigger than what it already is. You only have a finite amount of skin that can stretch so far, right?
Yeah.
You can't make it go beyond that. You know,
Yeah.
like people were like, I want it to be bigger. Like you can get more blood in it, but like if you were to just take it, like stretch it all the way out, that's theoretically about how big it's going to get because your skin has no more give.
Right.
That's it. You
Exactly.
know what I
You're out of
mean? Like
skin.
there's no more tissue that's down there
No.
that can go any farther. It's a
The
full
runway is
expansion.
only as long as the runway is. You can't.
Correct. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like you can pave more on the runway, but
Right.
like you know,
Mm.
so like all these things that are like we can make it longer and this, you know, listen, I think I think there is a procedure that does make it longer and they put in like a graft or whatever. But I'm gonna be honest, like just from even knowing about what I know down there, it sounds one incredibly risky, and I don't even think it would be worth the trade-off.
No.
Because do you know who really cares about that? Not many people.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
women.
That's a very dangerous thing to do.
I think women want to have like you know a normal. Women are more emotional. I'll put it that way. Physicality is important for them, and I think that we've historically tied like ego to that
Mm-hmm.
down there, and that all women just want it to be like as big as possible. I will tell you for fact they do not want it as big as possible.
Right.
Um, I'd say your average. I think the average erect penis is about 5 inches, 5.5 inches. I want to say is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that would be you'd be in the bell curve of standard deviation with that for sure.
Yeah.
So and you'd be absolutely fine. So bigger is not always better.
No.
And sometimes too big is not good
Right.
at all. Like it actually, women are like, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
It's
You
exactly
know,
it.
that will kill me.
I mean, there's always some that'll,
Oh, sure.
yeah.
Sure. There's always going to be like, you know, extremes,
Yeah.
but they're not going to be, you know, for, you know, your Gen Pop type stuff.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, definitely notice a difference. And the study that I'm doing in the future will involve the P shot. It'll also involve shockwave therapy. So
Mm.
I have a few people lined up that we're going to do this, but I would also like some more raw aggregate pre-data to add in as well.
Yeah.
So this will
Okay.
be an ongoing study. It'll be done as I get more data. I'd like to publish something after my initial findings with a couple people, but then as I grow it, I would like to rehash it and add more into the equation.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
yeah.
All right. So number 7, TRT over 50, which was episode 35, and that was with Mike Belkin.
Oh,
Our
so it's our
buddy
friend
Mike.
Mike. Yep. Jack
Who is,
Mike.
I was just gonna say, who is fucking jacked. How old is Mike? 50?
He's in his early 50s.
I was
I
gonna
want to
say
say he's
51 or
51.
52,
Yeah.
something like that.
Looks good, man.
Fucking jacked.
Yeah. He's got a good suit of armor.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's on PEDs.
he probably is. Probably doing Trent in the bathroom and not telling us.
Bastard. Yeah. But that was a good episode
I think so too.
where we talked about, I guess, a lot of guys think like 50 and that's it. Like, nah, I'm 50. Like it's.
Well, 50 is the gateway. When I worked in urology, and even before that, when I was a nurse in the hospital, if you were to just take some generalizations and you were to say, okay, just even you, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's just take you. What age do you think most men develop health issues? Like, when would you think that would be?
I would say 50.
Yeah. Like on average, it's in like their 50s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when you're like, oh, now I got to take blood pressure medication. Now I got to take cholesterol medication. Now, I got my colonoscopy for the 3rd time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're starting to see health issues creep up in roughly the 50s. So that's an important decade of life because it's a transitional time. You're going from kind of a younger you
Mm-hmm.
and you're transitioning into what is going to be the older you as you enter 60 and beyond. And then by no means am I saying 60 is old, but what I'm getting at here is that's your time to kind of get some shit figured out.
Right.
Right. Not have a midlife crisis or anything like that, but that's really where if you're going to value your health, that's where the road splits. And you got to decide which road you want to go down. Do you want to go down the unhealthy route or you want to go down the healthy route?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to pick. Because if you don't, while you can get back on, you're going to go so far. And it's like a tree, right? As it goes out, you can kind of come back, but you're never going to be as far as that one branch if you start later.
Right. Right.
Right. Even if you're on the same trajectory out, that other branch is still out a lot farther
Mm-hmm.
than where you would be if you were to like, I'll make that decision, 10 years later, because
Mm-hmm.
that they just got a 10-year head start.
Right.
So don't wait to optimize yourself, because you're going to set yourself up for a future of success by starting at an earlier age.
Yeah.
So
I think,
I like his message with
yeah,
that.
I even made a video just the other day about getting your blood work done, getting it checked. Now, it doesn't mean just jump right on,
Sure.
research and do everything else. But the number one comment, without a doubt, I mean, it's not even close. The number one thing that people say is, I wish I did it sooner.
Yep.
Because they wait until they're like 46 or 45 or later in their 40s, and they felt shitty at 33, waited
Yeah.
until they were 43, and then they do it and they're like, fuck, I should have did this at 33 years old. And it's
I
like,
just had a guy I talked to today. He's booking a consultation, and he's like, I don't really have a lot of symptoms per se of like libido. He's like, I'm tired sometimes. I think I wrote it here actually. Yeah, his issue was he can't lose weight. No matter what he's doing, he can't lose weight.
yeah,
He's like, I've always been an active person, and he's like, I'm going to the gym, and I'm just not like, I just keep gaining like this weight, and he's like, I'm the kind of the heaviest I've ever been, and I don't know what to do.
yeah,
And he's like, I don't really want to use like Ozempic or that, he's like, and he was given my information by a friend of mine, an actual medical colleague, who was like, go see this guy, he'll get you straightened out.
yeah,
So, and that's one of the indications, and I think, and my hope is that we start to look at testosterone, at least from that FDA panel, in a different light. And we're saying, hey, this guy is now gaining weight. He's not off the rails with his diet. He's pretty active. Is it because his testosterone's low and he's not able to progress anymore because
right,
it's below a threshold to which he can actually make progress?
right,
And getting that fixed will allow him to make some progress that will fix any potential metabolic problem down the road, because now we can build muscle and
yep,
he can maintain a healthy weight, and then we don't run into problems.
sure,
That's kind of how we have to look at it. Not like, oh, he's on testosterone, he's on a PED. Look at it as, this is the cascade chain of events that's going to happen from starting this at that point,
yeah,
from that one thing.
right,
And then what's going to change down the road? Where is he going to be 10 years if he continues with that?
right,
Is he going to, and if versus if he didn't, it gets to like that same split.
yeah, exactly,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. You plan out 10 years without it, 10 years on. What do the forecast look like?
Yep.
10 years is a long time,
10 years
especially
is a long
at
time.
that, if you're in your 50s.
It goes quicker the older you get, though.
Mm-hmm. It
Starts to
does.
zip by a lot. Starts to zip by a lot quicker.
It does.
Time seemingly felt like it stood still when I was 10,
Yeah.
but not at 40.
No,
It
definitely
goes by real fast.
It does go really fast. It's crazy how fast it goes.
Yeah.
Like years and stuff go by. You're like, oh, that was like, oh, how long did I say it was like 7 years ago? He's like, no, it was like 18 years ago. I'm like, 18 years ago? Like, what the fuck?
Feels like yesterday.
Yeah. It's like, son of a bitch.
I know, man.
And the thing, what's weird is when you see people you haven't seen in a while and then you see their kids. And I'm like, who the hell's that? They're like, that's, my daughter. I'm like, what? How old is she? Like 17. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought she was like 9. He's like, no, dude. I was like, the last time I saw her, she was 4. Now all of a sudden she's like a junior in high school. He's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck. Like, what have we been doing? Like, I thought we were going to hang out, go fishing that one time. He's like, yeah, no, that was fucking 13 years ago.
Right.
Fuck.
It does. It zips by, man.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I remember my dad saying that shit. Don't ever get old. Okay,
happens to us all.
Fucker. Well, Josh, the last one, and this I'm actually going to take to heart. In 2026, I'm going to make a huge push to, I don't want to say attack, but
call out.
Call out. I want to say call out, or kind of bring attention to.
There we go. Awareness.
Yeah, awareness to the fake experts in the TRT. I actually want to do, I shouldn't, but a lot of these coaches too.
Yeah,
I really like 2026. I'm trying to think like, I think collectively all of us should take social media and do a fucking absolute colon cleanse of this bitch and be
yeah.
like, look, you two fucking clowns, get out. You two, go.
I saw this post of a quote coach, and it was talking about like the thyroid, and he was like the comment that he made. It wasn't what he said in the video. People were like asking questions, and he
Mhm.
was like, "Yeah, only elite coaches and some functional medicine doctors know this." And I'm like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
You can say whatever you
did
want.
you only know because you read it on ChatGPT? Like,
Hmm.
it's fucking unreal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
unreal.
I really, I've been thinking about this more and more. And like now that I'm back on TikTok, it's coming up more and more. And now that we're getting into, I actually just made a video about that. About like now once we've gone past Christmas, because I made it before Christmas. Like once we get
Yeah.
past Christmas, now we go like these online fitness and health coaches and, hormone specialist slash, health coach slash fucking enterprise rental car guy. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like that, those people start to fucking grow like mushrooms in the
Yeah.
spring lawn, and it's like, cause now it's the new year, new you. And it's like, oh, well, give me $1,000 a month. That's where I made the video about, it's sleep, nutrition, exercise,
Okay.
consistency. Like you don't need somebody to fucking you don't need to pay somebody $2,500 a month. Like I can just tell you, sleep, nutrition, exercise, consistency. You've just saved $2,500 a month. It's like don't tell like I know he's going to tell you this and whatever. Go to ChatGPT and put in your height, your weight, all
Yeah.
of your fucking everything about you, and tell him to write you a program, and it'll
AI
write
is
you a
coming,
fucking
man. I think
right.
it's gonna bite this industry. It's gonna take a big chunk out
Correct.
of this industry, or at least make. There's still going to be some checks,
Yeah.
some gates, so to speak. So it's not like it's going to make everything the same. But what I
Hmm.
do think it's going to do is some of the people up to a certain gate will be gone
Yes. Correct.
because it won't be necessary anymore.
Right.
There just won't be a purpose, nor will there be any monetization. Because as soon as you remove the money from that, the
Oh,
industry,
they're all
like,
gone.
yeah, right, everybody disappears because
Yeah.
they can't make money on it.
Right.
So if there's money to be made, it'll continue to happen. But as soon as the money goes away, everything else goes with
Done.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think between AI, I think there's a lot of smart people and good, honest people that I think are pulling people, and I think they're raising awareness too to like, hey, watch out for these, red flags and watch out for this.
Right.
But I think that'll help. But I honestly believe that AI is going to fucking decimate that industry, the
Yeah.
coaching industry, that all that stuff, because you can pay $20 a month for ChatGPT, and it's not rocket science. And like, and if you want to get workout, go to a fucking personal trainer at your gym.
Yeah.
Like the nutrition stuff, whatever you can do. I mean, look, listen, we all know this. Everyone knows. Like, if you eat fucking pizza, it's not good. You shouldn't be eating pizza all the time. We all know what you should be eating, what we shouldn't be eating.
Right.
Now, breaking down the macros and stuff, yeah, that takes a lot more knowledge. Okay, ChatGPT will fucking tell you. Go somewhere and get your body fat. Do a body scan.
Yeah.
Come back with that. Put it in there. Bang! It'll fucking break it down. This is exactly what you're supposed to eat for the day, and then
Yep.
this is how you're supposed to work out. Go to the gym. You don't need to pay some fucking clown who does a Zoom call with you and says, "Oh, well, you're doing this and doing that," because he just got the same shit off of ChatGPT and is just spewing it out and charging your fucking credit card.
Yep.
And like, look, man, you see the people on here. I mean, we've talked about this. Like, I can see them in 1 second of saying, I'm like, oh, here we go. They're
Yep.
in their kitchen, no shirt on. It's like right there, and I'm just like, okay, here we go.
Well, and the funny is they all have like physiques that aren't necessarily going to be a physique that you achieve just from like
No,
TRT.
none of them are natural.
Like this like Liver King being like, I just ate liver.
Right.
Okay.
And I don't give a fuck if you're selling stretchy shirts and fucking egg boilers and whatever, and you're fucking ripped at 60 fucking years old. You are not fucking natural. I'm going to
Yeah.
start calling all of them out.
Yeah. Maybe they're natural at the time being.
Oh, no. Yeah, right. At this moment, I'm natural. Now, 3 weeks ago, I wasn't not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I'm going to throw in here because I know a lot of people get confused. Okay. If you're on TRT, you're not natty. It is what it is. Okay. We all
Yep.
accept that. No one gives a fuck. But if you aren't taking TRT, right, and maybe you have pretty decent testosterone levels, and you're taking peptides, you are not natty. So don't fucking give me this shit. Oh, I don't take testosterone, but you take, this and this and this. I'm like, yeah, that means you're not fucking natty. Now,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. You don't care. Nobody fucking cares.
No.
But my problem with it is just be fucking honest.
Yeah, I think the line that needs to be drawn there is the monetization behind the how and the why. And what I mean by that is if you're trying to sell a product, a coaching program or whatever, and you go, you can achieve these natural and you're trying to
Right.
what's personify what it is, and you're putting your, like the Liver King did this, right? And he's like, you can look like me and you can do this, and starts to monetize things where he's making people think like they can look like him.
Right.
They just eat liver.
Yeah.
And it's not. And
No.
it's so far from the truth that to me is where the line should be. I mean, if you're somebody that if you're not making money on it, nobody cares.
Right.
Literally nobody cares. But when you bring somebody's like livelihood into it and you're like charging them thousands of dollars for something that's just a lie, I mean, it's fraud.
Right.
And that's the part that I get irritated with. It's these people that are claiming to be something they're not. They're clearly lying about it. But the product that they're pushing behind that is a product that they swear is because of X, Y, and Z, and that they got to that naturally.
Yeah.
And they 100% didn't.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious. It's very obvious.
100%.
I mean, if you want to see what like natural people look like, go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You'll immediately see who's juicing and who's not. It's so obvious.
Right. I mean, because you know how you tell is like there's guys that they just look like they're kind of in shape, but like not really. You know what I mean? Like they'll have a sweatshirt on. You're like, that guy kind of looks like he's in shape, but he's not. It's the dude has a sweatshirt on. You're like, that dude's fucking jacked. That dude's on something. That's that's the answer right there. Like if you see through a jacket or on in someone's sweatshirt that they're fucking jacked, that's not natty. Okay,
Yeah.
like there's no fucking way.
And the thing is I don't give a fuck.
No.
And most other people don't either.
Yeah, well,
because they're not there trying to sell you some program. Right. You can look like them without it.
Well, thankfully, there's a lot of people that are now starting to be honest with it. It's becoming kind of like a cool thing where it's like,
well, it's at the end of the day, it's like whatever. All right, it's
right.
I know people that get shamed because they take a GLP-1 and they lost weight. Okay, you took one. You lost the weight.
Shit?
Like. Right. Like you're healthier now because you lost the weight. You probably lost the muscle, which isn't great, but you're not 300 pounds anymore.
Yeah.
Why do you care how like, okay, you've used something that actually helps you get to that point. Great.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
You
don't have to be ashamed about it.
All of the people that talk shit on all that stuff are all eventually going to be taking all of the shit anyway.
Yeah.
They're just,
probably
they may
just
be
jealous or
whatever it is, but eventually they're going to take it too. They're.
I mean, I don't look at it.
Crash or
I don't even care if you want to talk about like what's natty, what's not. I'm looking at it from a health span perspective.
Right.
What can I offer this person that's coming to me to give them the highest, utmost quality of life, the longest we can possibly obtain it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we go about it. How can I look at it for that? Does it necessarily matter that I use a natural hormone to achieve that? Sure, we're going to hit levels that they probably won't be able to hit naturally, but it's still natural, right? We're not using something that the body doesn't make to do that. We're just giving you more of that one thing.
Yeah.
But again, I'm looking at results,
right.
And I don't think you should be ashamed of those results because they benefit you. And when we start to get people in that mindset and on board, we can start to kind of get past all these stupid squabbles of
Yep.
what's natty, what's not. Again, if there's no money involved and it's just for personal gain
Mm-hmm.
because you want to live your best life, wear it like a badge, man. Be
Fuck yeah.
very proud of yourself. I
Yep.
mean, I am, and I'm not afraid
Sure.
to say that it's changed my life. And there's a lot of other people that are happy that it's changed their life
Oh,
too.
I get people all the time
Let
like,
it fly.
how do you put that on social media? Like you're telling everyone, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, obviously.
Right.
And the
If
name
anything,
is TRT Dad. I mean, I'm not fucking hiding anything. It's like,
right. If
let's put it
anything, you're
out there.
doing it because you can help somebody else.
Right. Right. Because like guys at my age, 45, 46, 40, like, the fuck do you care? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, well, because I'm taking, okay, good for you. Now I'm, taking the missus to Pound Town 5 times a week. How's your life, bud?
Right.
Right. So, but you know what? I wanted to say something about, you said something about results. That that the video I did make about the coaches, stuff like that, I had a coach reach out to me, DM me. He didn't want to put it in the comments
Okay.
because you know how that goes. He DMs me and he was like, "Hey man, I don't appreciate you coming after our industry." And I was like, "Hey man, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just shooting straight. Maybe you're one of the good ones. I don't know. I didn't call you out personally, but
Right.
you know what I mean? But overall, your industry, it's pretty shitty."
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I understand what you're saying, but you're casting like a bad shadow upon the whole industry. And I was like, well, yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm doing because
Welcome to the shit I wade through on a daily basis.
Right. The industry's fucked. Like you guys got to do some internal fucking cleansing here to clean this shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, but we're holding people accountable. And I'm like, how is that? So he writes back. He's like, well, I watch people's, their diet and I'm like, so you watch them eat? And he's like, well, they send me their journals. I'm like, how the fuck do you know they're not lying?
Right.
I was like, are you there to work out? And then I wrote back to him. I'm like, well, listen, you do you. I wish you the best of luck. Okay. But your industry needs a fucking makeover.
Yeah.
And I was like, and in all honesty, I think it would be better for people. This is what I wrote to him. It would be better for people to use ChatGPT to come up with a meal plan for their weight and what their goal is going to be. And I think their best for them to get the results would be to go to a gym and hire a trainer at the gym because that's accountability. That's someone standing because listen, I can tell you we just had a conversation with my wife. She works out all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what her problem is? Intensity.
Yeah.
She'll go there and dick around with fucking weights for 3 hours and be like, well, I worked out for 3 hours. I'm like, you didn't do fucking nothing except move fucking weights around for 5 hours. You didn't work out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, if you go there with a personal trainer and you do 30 minutes and you leave there dripping in sweat and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that's accountability.
Yeah.
So
there's difference in there and saying
Yeah.
I worked out for 30 minutes.
some
versus
people need
I worked out
help with
for
that.
30
Maybe
minutes.
they've never played a sport and they've never worked out or whatever it is. That's fine. I think you should go face to face with somebody at your local gym so they can show you the movements, do it properly, and they can also push you. Put another
You need
plate
that
on
push.
there. Yes.
You need that push.
'Cause
that pushes you out of your comfort zone.
Correct. And then once you start to get those wheels going, you probably don't need that guy anymore.
Nope.
Maybe
I
you'll
think
want to
3
do it a
months
little
is
bit
a
more.
good-
Correct.
I
3
kept my
months.
trainer for 5 months, but that's literally only because I liked just having him around. I worked out.
Right.
But
You do 3 solid months with the trainer. At the end of those 3 months, you're feeling better. You're looking better. You've understand now you're starting to like go outside the comfort zone. You're not just doing bench. Now you're maybe doing decline. Now you're doing flies. Now you're opening it up to things, but you've done
Right.
it. You're feeling better. You know what to do. You know how to push yourself. So I get the whole thing with the coaching. I just think there's a different way to do it that's more beneficial. And I think somebody there standing over top of you saying, you've got 2 more in the tank is better than someone sitting on a Zoom call saying, how many sets did you do today? How many reps did you do? Oh, congratulations.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that's a very valid point
Yeah.
you bring up.
I'd like to see the personal trainers come back. I think they're important in gyms.
Yeah.
Because
I do too.
they've kind of died off a little bit. But
They don't get paid very much, and that's
No,
a shame.
it's
I
terrible.
wish they got paid more. I really feel like we kind of have a crisis in at least the United States of the physicality that we do on a daily basis has fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, 100%.
And people don't want to do very rigorous physical activity, but they don't realize, like, historically, literally up until maybe 50, 60 years ago, that was pretty normal.
No, yeah, that's
You
exactly
know,
it.
we're literally living in a time where the level of physical activity is at unprecedented low levels.
Right.
And it's because of technology, and it's only going to get worse. You ever seen the movie Wall-E,
Yeah.
where they're like flying, they're in those
Yeah.
chairs and they're
With the
just fat.
shakes and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, and they're just they have like no muscle mass. They're just literally laying. They're these fat blobs that just get zipped around
Yeah.
everywhere. That's literally kind of like what we're turning into, at least in
100%.
Western
That's what it's happening.
civilization. And
Yeah.
it's because of technology, and it's because, you know, and you have to be active in maintaining your level of health and fitness.
Yeah.
It's not a passive endeavor.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it's not easy.
No.
Again, as I was saying earlier, it is not easy. It is hard.
Mhm.
But when you actually do it and you achieve it, you feel very rewarded for your efforts.
Yep.
And then, two, I will stress this: once you reach your goal, it's a shit ton easier to maintain it than it is getting there.
Oh, there's definitely a point. It's probably different for everybody, but there's kind of an addiction point where
Sure.
you start to get to where it's like almost like an addiction, where you're like, fuck, man. And then you just start eating healthy and like you don't even attempt to eat anything bad. And then when you work out, you start to push it because you're becoming like an addict of it. You know, but it takes a little bit to get there. But I go in waves of that. Like I'll go in and then there'll be like waves of like where I'm just fucking addicted to it. And I can't stop doing it. Like I can't keep, like I can't stop pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And then I like roll back a little bit, you know, but I do love those runs. Like I love those fucking runs where it's like, damn, dude. Cause you'll be like working, you do something, you're like, you feel your arm, you're like, fuck you. That thing is fucking jacked, you know? And it's like, and then it's like someone will say something like, you know, you're doing something, you're like, damn, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, just work out. Like, damn, dude, like fucking, what size shirt was that? Like, we got you the wrong shirt. And I'm like, well, you know, guess like you got the girl size.
It takes a lot of effort to get to those goals. And again, set yourself obtainable goals. And when you hit that goal, make a new goal.
Fuck yeah.
And work your way towards, you know, getting to that point. But ultimately, you know, new year, new you. You've had 364 days to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe after you listen to this, you go make it happen.
Yeah,
It just
that's
so
it.
happens to be on January
2026
1st.
is it? We're going to change everything. We're changing.
Hope
Your
so.
clinic's going to change. Maybe TRT Dad might be going on the road. There's some talk of that.
That'd be pretty cool.
We can rid the fucking scourge of social media, and you know, and then guys will get into shape. Maybe this is the year where they get in the best shape of their life.
I hope so. You know, it's real. Like I said, it's really about kind of gaining the most out of this from like a longevity standpoint, and making sure that everybody does really well.
I think the most overlooked thing about this is doing TRT. You start to get your confidence back. All that stuff comes back. You start going to the gym, and after a time, things start to feel better overall. You know what I mean? Like you feel you have energy. You're working out. You feel good. What I think we kind of stop there, right? But we all kind of know, but we don't really talk about. That grows into the other parts of your life. The relationship with your kids, the relationship with your wife.
It does.
That it all becomes better.
It does.
You know, and like
it sounds cliched that it all stems from working out, but it really does.
It does 100%.
It 100% comes from actually putting the work in.
Yep.
All of the benefits, not just from the physical aspect of like, hey, now my mitochondrial better, my insulin sensitivity is better, but like your interactions, because now you are working better. How you view things and how you take things is working better. And those relationships and all of your social interactions become better.
I think there's something to the mental part of it where you don't want to do it. Like when you lay down, you have, let's just say 80-pound dumbbells in your hand and you're ready to lay down to push these things up. And you're like, I don't want to fucking do this. This happens to me all the time, but I lay down and I just start doing it. And then after the first set, I'm like, fuck. And then by the second set, I'm in. I'm fucking balls in. I'm like, all right, we're ripping through this thing. But I think there's something to that mentally that changes in your life too, where it's like you start doing things that you don't want to do or you don't like to do, and then they start to become like routine. Now there's other things that you kind of didn't like,
Oh yeah,
or there's things that like maybe it bothered you, and you're like, fuck this. This is nothing
doesn't
like
bother you as
fucking
much anymore.
160 pounds above my fucking head, in dumbbells or whatever it is, or 300 and fucking pounds on a decline or whatever it is. I think it's stretched out like this is nothing compared to that. So
it was the machine. It wasn't the actual bench. So
well, still.
I don't do any bar work anymore. I gotta save them shoulders. So
yeah.
But that was still impressive for me. I was happy with that.
Yeah. Either way, you're moving it. It's there and it has to go up and down.
I mean, I get not a lot of people at the gym can do that. I will tell you that. There's only maybe a handful of people in that gym that can actually push that amount of weight for that amount of reps.
Yep.
On that machine too.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty cool to kind of be there, and
the machine is sitting there. Somebody might as well use it.
Yeah, it's 12 and a half pounds each arm base weight. So I actually add a 10-pound plate on each side, and that gives you true weight.
Right.
Because then it makes it about 45 pounds.
40, yeah.
For like a bar weight.
Right. Right.
So then when you put on like 3 plates, it makes it 315. So I always have 2 10s. I cap all my weight with 2 10s.
Okay.
Like a 10 on each side.
Yeah.
And that makes it
level. That makes sense.
So
all right. Well. All right, Josh, that was the year in review. Next time we will talk, it will be in 2026.
And it'll be episode 60. Believe that.
Yes. Episode 60. And we'll be counting down to the 1-year birthday of the TRT Dead
January.
Podcast. January 25th.
That's crazy.
5 days after my birthday. I'll be 47 years old.
Man.
Fuck.
What a year.
47. 3 years away from 50.
Here we are.
We're just talking about. Oh, fuck, dude. I'm rolling in my 50s.
Hell yeah.
People are going to be like, dude, how old are you? I'm going to be like 55. They're like, damn.
Yeah, you look 45.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah, you better keep your fucking wife away. She's going to come climbing. So, yeah. Well, Josh, that was it. So, I appreciate you, all the stuff that we've done this past year. Appreciate all the listeners out there. And I wish everyone a happy new year. And we will see you boys in the new year. All of you guys be good.